All right, guys. Well, that was some podcast. I was just telling Nabil here, who was our guest this time at Instant Replay, your favorite sports podcast, that this was a podcast that I learned a lot. That's exactly what I was saying to you.
Yeah, no, it's basically I'm a massive Tottenham fan, as you guys can
Huge
tell.
Tottenham fan. No, there was like, listen to this podcast. This guy just knows everything about Tottenham. I don't even. I couldn't even keep up. Like, he just knew everything.
I just hope there's not listeners there saying, so what's the point of knowing all this stuff about a garbage team? But, no,
they're not a garbage
they're a
team
great
anymore,
team.
right?
They're a
That's what
great
we
team.
learned. That's what I learned personally.
No, and it's just exposure, right? And I mean, I need all you sports fans to appreciate.
Are you marketing
appreciate
Tottenham
us. Oh,
right
yeah,
now?
definitely, heavily.
As you can see,
know,
guys,
so,
this guy is there. There is no other Tottenham fan that I've come across that has come onto our podcast and started marketing.
No,
It's hilarious.
It's you know what it is? It's they're very similar to the Raptors as well. You know, we're on the come up right now, so that's why I guess it's really nice to compare and
Yeah. So you're a big Tottenham fan. You're a big Raptors fan. Apparently you're a big Michael Jordan fan,
Yeah.
which I just learned, and
Just
you're a big Tom Brady fan.
now I'm a Tom Brady fan.
Yeah,
You got to respect that. No, I'm
Yeah,
a big
yeah.
sports fan in general. So
This podcast, this guy talked about literally every sport. So, guys, listen to this. This is a lot of fun. We had a lot of fun. It was, this was a pleasant surprise to know that I knew you were a soccer fan.
Yep.
But this is a pleasant surprise to know that you're a fan about
not
every
not as vocal
sport.
as I used to be. You know, there used to be those Facebook live updates whenever there was
Exactly.
a goal score, but
Exactly.
not so much now. But it's still there. It's still there.
Exactly. All right, guys. Well, enjoy the podcast. So, despite traveling yourself, like to all these mines and different locations, because that's essentially part of your gig,
Yeah.
do you still miss games or do you not miss games?
Well, when I'm on
Like Tottenham games, because those are the games you follow, right?
Yeah,
Or
yeah.
do you watch like everything?
No, I save time just to watch Tottenham games.
Yeah.
That's
That's like a top priority
oh,
for
yeah,
you.
yeah, yeah,
How long has
definitely.
that been a top priority for you?
probably 20 years I've been watching Tottenham.
How old are you?
26.
Okay.
So about 20 years I've been following Tottenham.
Yeah.
I would say I really kicked in a lot when I actually moved from England. I guess moving from England and then coming to Canada and trying to watch Canadian sports at first.
What do you mean?
not
You
kicking
don't.
it for me.
No,
No.
Toronto Raptors.
Now-
Toronto Maple.
now-
Well,
now
Toronto
I'm-
Maple Leafs.
Now I'm a massive fan of Toronto Raptors. But like,
Are you?
Yeah, I follow them. Like I watch more Raptor games than other soccer games.
Oh, gotcha.
You know what I mean? Like unless it's Spurs, then
Okay.
Tottenham's a priority. But
Tottenham
no.
comes first.
Oh yeah, all the time, all the time. Like, look, I came a bit late today, right? Just to watch them play, so-
Yeah. So who are they playing?
Burnley. So it was a 2-0 victory. It was good.
Say that again.
Burnley.
I just admire the accent.
Thank you. No, it's a good game. It was a good game.
Nice.
It was a bit nervy, but
Cool, man.
we managed to score 2 goals in the last 15.
Nice.
So it's good.
Tottenham doing well this season.
Very well. Second place.
Yeah. After.
Chelsea.
Chelsea.
That's your team, right?
No, that's
No?
not my team.
Arsenal.
No. If I had to
Oh,
pick a team, it would be
Barca?
Man U.
Oh, Man United.
If I had to pick a team, but I'm not picking the team. It's only when Cristiano Ronaldo used to play there.
Yeah,
I was a big Cristiano Ronaldo fan.
you know they've named an airport after him.
In Portugal?
Yep, where he's born.
Do you blame him?
No.
He
Why?
is the best.
He deserves it. He deserves
He's
it.
hands down the best player to come out of that
Yeah,
country, right?
yeah, definitely. I mean, I rate him a lot, and I really respect his work ethic.
Yeah.
And he's a hard worker, right? He
Yeah.
deserves it all. Like a lot, he gets a lot of stick because of what he does. I guess outside of the field when it comes to advertisements and all that stuff.
Yeah.
we
He's
gotta
off the
remember-
field antics.
Yeah, but we got to remember a lot of players do that and they don't get criticized. You know,
Right.
Like, I mean,
But he's under the spotlight all the time because
Yeah.
for year after year, he's produced as either best player or second best player
exactly
every single year for the last,
Exactly.
I don't know how, 5, 6, 7 years,
Yep.
right? Who would you pick? Who's your favorite athlete? Athlete.
Athlete.
Any sport. It could be anything. Who's your favorite? And it doesn't have to be like logical, like it's got to be Messi or it's got to be someone. Just curious to know. It doesn't have to be soccer.
Well, athlete, then it would have to be. Well, probably Michael Jordan, right?
Really? Okay,
Yeah.
fair enough.
Yeah.
I didn't. Okay, why is that?
I mean,
In your opinion, why is that?
Well, just because of what he's achieved. There's if we're going at strictly by achievements,
Yeah.
and then I'll add in a little bit of outside of the field kind of behavior or anything like that, or just personality in general.
Yeah.
I'd say Michael Jordan.
So
He's a
what
born
is
winner.
it? Yeah. Oh, he's a born winner. Okay.
And even what's his name? As of late, I started watching a bit of American football. So
Okay.
I
feel like you're gonna say Tom Brady.
yeah, I respect him because that is something you have to admire, right? I mean, he's a winner. He's a winner, and he will ensure he'll do anything possible to win.
Yeah.
Right? Even if it's deflating balls or whatever it might be. But no, jokes aside,
Yeah.
I watched that final and I gained a lot of respect for him. So a lot of people are listening to this or whenever afterwards, they'll laugh and be like, yeah, we already know that. But coming from someone who hated the sport completely, but then watched someone just, turn.
So now, would you say that he's drawn you into the sport?
Oh, easily, yeah. I mean, there was a lot of players actually. Like I actually started watching that like maybe a couple of years ago, but only one season. Like I jumped on the bandwagon for New York Giants.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
And that was before Odell Beckham even existed. So,
right.
So it wasn't too bandwagonish.
Gotcha.
But, the thing I appreciate about that, in comparison, let's say to my main game of, let's say, soccer, is it's very tactical and
totally.
And it's all it's like I look at it as like it's a bit like chess.
Yeah.
In comparison to other sports.
Yeah.
Soccer is very similar to say hockey, kind of. It's just, you have the goals, this and that. Fine.
Right.
It's just every player in that sport, though, American football, has a specific role, and they have to do that
perfectly.
Perfectly.
And
there's
everyone
no questions
relies
asked
on every single other role.
Exactly,
you know what I mean?
Exactly. And I know that's in most sports, but then if you look at it this way, you'll have in basketball, it's a point guard who does all the distribution, this and that.
Sure.
But you look at it for us right now. We have DeRozan doing all that. Fine. Lowry is injured, but that's the thing though. You're not gonna have some running back come in and just become a QB. Like
it's a valid point, man. It's a totally valid point.
It's not very common that happens. They'll have their backup guy to do it, and he'll have to do everything that is.
Yeah, I didn't even think about it that way, and I think you're totally right.
And I think LeBron James, for example, he does everything, right?
Everything.
And it's good, but you don't see Tom Brady basically, going for touchdowns all the time, running. So that's something I realized that. And that shows how mentally strong you have to be.
Gotcha.
And it's ironic because everyone's just massive in that sport, right?
Right.
But it's actually all about the.
Okay, so clearly, I get how you're picking your top athletes. It's clearly by born winners.
Yeah.
Right.
I look at it.
So
like
something that's
a leader and a winner.
An impressive feat that someone's doing. Well, Michael Jordan, 6-time NBA champion. Hands down the greatest basketball player. Everyone, it's almost unanimous at this point. I think people will argue Kobe, or someone might argue LeBron at the end of his career. But right now, Michael Jordan, hands down.
Definitely.
Right?
Yeah.
And then Tom Brady is the best quarterback now. He solidified that. He was previously, in my opinion, but he solidified that after this Super Bowl victory, right, of coming back down 28-0, which is ridiculous if you think about it.
No, exactly.
With basically a quarter and a half. It's unreal. Okay, tell me the soccer player for you that actually goes to that level in terms of winning, because that's the one sport I don't think you don't get that often repeat champions. You can't get that. Like Michael Jordan had 2 3-peats. Okay, Tom Brady has won 2 out of the last 3 Super Bowls.
Yeah, no, I
right?
mean,
Like when
in soccer. Okay, well, let's see. As of late, let's say the past decade, you only see that now.
Yeah.
With Cristiano and Messi.
Yeah,
but prior to them, like when we were both younger and when we were watching, let's say, Zidane's and the Figos and
Ronaldinho,
and Ronaldo, the original Ronaldinho, exactly. Yep. These guys are legendary as well, right?
Absolutely.
But the thing is, the competition was different. Where now, I feel like it's just Ronaldo, Messi all the time. And I'm not really taking anything away from those guys at all, because they fully deserve everything that's come to them. But the thing is, it's that's the thing. They're the only 2 standout players now. Yeah, you
Absolutely.
have other great players too. Like, look, you have
Ibrahimovic,
exactly.
Yeah.
He's a winner as well. He's won the league in every single could
He's
say
played for a lot of teams.
yeah,
And
so
every league that he goes to, he
he's
becomes
a winner. Exactly. He wins something.
So
there,
he's a difference maker on every team that he goes to.
Exactly. And that's how I personally judge or measure, you know, you could say my favorite athlete in that kind of way. I mean, there's many ways like to really like look at it. Athleticism, if you look at it this way, then I'd pick Ronaldo over Messi, right?
Yeah.
Just because of I just like the way that Ronaldo does everything he does physically,
right.
you know, in comparison to Messi. But then when it comes to like the body feints and all these fakes and the way he can just wiggle around, that's a Messi kind of thing. You know what I mean? So it's different.
You know what's interesting? Thierry Henry said, he's like, listen, so between the two, they're both fantastic players. He was asked, this is about 2 years ago, he was asked, I heard this interview. And he's like, okay, if I had to pick, I'd pick Messi. And that's only because of the fact that Ronaldo can't take anything against him in terms of his work ethic. But apparently Messi's competitive attitude is that of, let's say, a Michael Jordan, of a Tom Brady, where he demands perfection, or he demands perfection of himself, not from a work ethic standpoint, but like when he's on the field, he has to win. He will do everything it takes. He has to win. And so Thierry Henry put the story out where he's like, so they're playing, this is like practice in Barcelona squad. And this is back when Thierry Henry played, obviously, for Barcelona.
Yep.
And basically, Messi gets tripped. He doesn't get the call from the coach or the manager, whatever you want to say, during practice.
Right.
And he just stands and stares at him. He gets so angry the next time. He gets the ball, dribbles through everyone, and scores the ball.
Yeah.
He's Thierry Henry, who is a phenomenal player.
Yeah, definitely.
Right? He's a phenomenal player, is saying that he was in awe of what Messi had just done. Yeah. And this is with like that level of caliber players. You know what I mean? So I think his like, you hear about stories like Tom Brady, if his practice doesn't go according to how he wants it, he'll keep the team out as long as he wants to. You know, Michael Jordan, you hear about how competitive he is, right? There's nothing like that. Just seems to be a constant theme with all these top players.
It's to me, I look at it. It's a part of the parcel. Like as a teammate, as another person on the team, if I was watching these guys, that kind of stuff. Some people might, you know, be like, oh, you know, you shouldn't do that. You can't act like that. Why are you being like that? You know, and it's very upsetting. But they're your boss in my eyes. I mean, like the best player to me, and your manager as well, obviously. Right. But they're your boss, and you have to, you know, listen to them, because at the end of the day, they're the ones who are going to give you the victory, and you have to humble yourself to that, right? There's certain players you can't do that. And look at in basketball, for example. I mean, like you have players just switching different teams. Sometimes certain players have to accept that he is the best. He is the go-to guy, and we have to keep it that way, right?
Yeah, I think that's the case with. Yeah, I think you're 100% right, especially nowadays in basketball with all the teams, you know, having like 2-3 stars on each team. Like sometimes you just have to roll over and be like, listen, this guy's a little bit more talented than me. If I'm gonna win, this guy has to perform at the best of his ability, and we'll go from there.
Yeah, it's with any sport, right? I mean, it's you have to accept you could say the transition or the evolution of the sport, or how it used to be. You know, like you have people saying, oh, you know, why there's star-studded teams, you know, Golden
absolutely.
State, all this. But it's the same, like when Man City got bought out by the Abu Dhabi group, you know, the Emirati group.
Yep.
As a Tottenham fan, I obviously got really upset, because I was like, you know, what is this? I mean, just have some, you know, wealthy big group just come and just splash the cash on Man City, a nobody team back then.
Yeah, definitely. Absolutely. And now, you know, they've got a lot of talent.
Lower table, you know, lower half of the table, mid-table, and now they've picking up the best players, you know, in the world, top players, and you know, they've won the league a couple times now. So, but having said that, I mean, it's stressful to watch as a fan of a team that's, you know, admittedly not as good back then.
Right.
But look, I mean, like this is right now. Me watching Tottenham is probably the best Tottenham team ever.
Really?
Best Tottenham team in the past 50 years, easily.
Explain to me what's made them so good.
Their manager, hands down, their manager. We basically got this Argentinian manager. He was an Argentinian national. What's his
name?
Mauricio Pochettino.
Okay.
And he's a fairly young manager. I'd say probably 45 or something, less than that.
Okay.
And he was a player as well. So he plays for Argentina. He used to play for Argentina and Espanyol, Spanish team. And it's just the way that he changed the whole style of play for Tottenham and how Tottenham plays. I mean, we never used to play attractive football like this. Like
Right.
we always tried to.
Right.
And there's always an ongoing joke between my friends and any Tottenham and or Arsenal fan is just basically, you know, like we're always living in Arsenal's shadows, right? But that's not the case anymore. Admittedly, yeah, it was back in the day, you know, and I'm talking about 7 years ago. It was, you know, I mean, I would not follow the Champions League at all because Tottenham were not in it, and I saw no reason to really watch it because.
Okay, so explain to me this from a distance. Like I watch completely from a distance compared to you, who's watching every single week, or you know, like very frequently, you're watching all the Tottenham games, or the EPL games, let's say. Explain to me, one, the fan. Like I've heard so much about European soccer in general, let alone the English Premier League, that the fans there are absolutely nuts.
Oh yeah, they're nuts. They're mental. It's you know mental. What? It's a way of it becomes kind of like a way of life for these guys. I mean, I think if I was there as well, I would not be watching or streaming the games at home. I'd probably go down and
to a pub,
to the local pub, you know, and just to watch it, just because,
absolutely,
just because of the atmosphere, the enthusiasm, the heart, and everything in it is just. It's like engraved in them. But you're born in that area.
What exactly?
You're born that fan. You know that's what it is. I mean, it's funny because
it's like you're born into the fan, like the fanfare. You're basically you come out the womb and you're like, this guy's gonna be a Tottenham fan.
That's what
parents are like driving it in from day one.
No, that's what it is. I mean, it's funny because when I first started watching football, it was so in England they have. Over here, I'm sure you know you get those collector cards for hockey and stuff. And I'm sure most of you guys would have collected
and
them.
Basketball. Yep.
So in England they had stickers, and you'd get an album, and then you'd get this. It'd have all the Premier League teams annually, and you just buy stickers at your local newsagents.
Right. Grab
them, they're really cheap. Stick them on. And when I first got my first pack, ironically within there they had I had on Anelka, who used to play for Arsenal at that time, Dennis Bergkamp, who used to play for Arsenal at that time, and David Seaman. All three used to play for Arsenal. And I really liked Anelka a lot, and Dennis Bergkamp. So I actually watched a lot of Arsenal games as a young kid.
Yeah.
And when that news got around to my family, it was a sin, right? To support Arsenal, to even mention Arsenal.
It's a sin, okay.
Yeah. So some would say I got brainwashed.
Yeah.
Because my whole family supports Tottenham. Only one cousin I have.
Are your parents into this?
My dad is now.
Yeah.
But not so much my mom. You'd always hear them. Why do you always watch? Why do you always watch a team that loses? And I used to get upset.
So
but now it's different because the tables have turned, and the past 5 years it's victories upon victories for us. But I started watching Arsenal, but then I got brainwashed, you could say. But I'm happy. I mean, like. For me, it's like I've got my team, but I also appreciate players.
So let me ask you this: what's the bad blood between Arsenal and Tottenham?
Well, Tottenham were in North London before, or
gotcha.
that region, and Arsenal, I guess, moved north of the Thames.
Okay,
they were actually on the south side, and
gotcha.
When they moved, that news didn't really go down well with us, and admittedly, they were the better team for the past 50 years or so. And I think we've played over 200 maybe games. 77 have been won by Arsenal, 55 only by us, and I think 51 draws. Ballpark, give or take, it's around that figure, right? And the funny thing is, most, let's say 5 or 6, or even up to 10 of those, I've witnessed the victories on our side now. So it's even more damaging kind of ratio as a Spurs fan. But we're on the rise. I mean, and it's good. I mean. While I'm still, a diehard fan, it's good to see them play well now. I mean, there was a time when I'm sure anyone who listens to this is aware and knows who Gareth Bale is.
Oh, of course.
And he actually, he was. It's sad because he was one of my favorite players. He still is, but it's just he was an icon at Tottenham. I mean, I remember the first game he played was his debut was against Man United.
Yeah.
And he was a left back, so left defender.
Yeah.
And now he's like a striker,
exactly.
For Real Madrid pretty much, or a left forward, left winger, anything. But this kid was, he was laughed upon initially because they're like, oh, he's overrated, bought him for like £13 million.
Right.
He's not worth it. But once that happened, and he became the superstar he was at Tottenham within a season of his amazing
Stardom.
Stardom. He got sold to Real Madrid, right? And at that point was my tipping point of like I literally just stopped watching football for a good 6 months.
Oh wow!
I didn't watch Tottenham. I just because I knew what was going to happen.
So are you worried about that though?
Oh yeah, I was.
No, are you worried about that as an ongoing thing? Like every time you come up with a star, there's a big club out there that can pay a lot more to buy him from you. I mean, now those big clubs include Manchester City.
Yep. No, I was. Now I'm not.
Why?
Well, because Tottenham, to me and to most of the world, I would hope, are a big club now. There's no denying that.
Okay.
I mean, let's say before Bale, we had I think Bale is where it ended, where Tottenham were known to create, steal from the youth academies,
right?
Then develop, make them into stars, and then just ship them off. So we had Gareth Bale, we had Luka Modric, who plays for Real Madrid as well. We had Michael Carrick, who is at United and still at United. Dimitar Berbatov, who used to play for Spurs and went to United as well. So those were the, let's say, four of the main big guys in the past, let's say 10 years who have gone for over £30 million to each of the teams that they ended up playing for. So those were big hits, right? But now we have, Harry Kane, Dele Alli. You have all these, Danny Rose, all these young English internationals who definitely will not leave Tottenham. And if they do, I mean, I wouldn't mind if they left for 100 million or 80 million or something ridiculous. You know how the transfer fees go now.
Exactly.
I wouldn't mind that now because I
Can
have
you
faith.
blame them though? Like,
no.
You can't even blame them.
No,
I mean,
I
the
don't.
transfer fees are ridiculous. You can't blame Tottenham.
And back then, I wouldn't blame any of the players really for leaving because they're going for. I mean, look, at the end of the day, they're an athlete. They're a human. It's better for them, whatever the move is. I mean, that's how it should be looked at. Whatever's better for them.
Totally. Because
I mean, the team, you're gonna switch teams. You're not gonna be. It's very rare that one player nowadays, especially, sticks with one team.
Gotcha.
Very, very rare. So I don't blame him. Now, if let's say Harry Kane were to move, who's arguably our best player, if he were to move, I would be upset because which other team is he going to go to? Sorry?
6 month? Would you be on a 6 month hiatus, like Gareth Bale 6 month hiatus?
Not with Tottenham, but I would just be very upset at the individual because there's no need to really leave. I mean, why? We're a big team now. We're a big team. Trust me.
And you're winning.
We're winning. I mean, look, we're second right now.
When does Tottenham get into the UEFA Champions League?
We got knocked out actually this season.
Oh no!
Yeah. We got knocked out by.
When do they go deep into the UEFA Champions League?
The last time we went deep was I think 5 years ago, and that was we got slapped by Real Madrid.
Okay. But does that not? Okay, so that was 5 years ago. Well, how do you think they fare against the top? Like now, Barcelona, Real Madrid, Juventus, Bayern. The list could go on. These are the heavy hitters in European soccer.
We're not there yet. We're that's still a long ways to go, especially with Barca. I put them in a different league altogether because they can. Real Madrid, no disrespect to them or Bayern, but Barca for some reason they just can create magic in times when you wouldn't think that they can. You think that everything's done and dusted, especially the PSG game. Like for me, I was convinced.
Tell me about that game. Like, what did you watch it?
No, I didn't.
Because you would have thought. I'm sure you would have thought that there's no way they're coming back from in Leg 2.
The reason I actually didn't watch the game was I was at work, but I usually stream. I can stream at work, but the reason I didn't watch it is because I was convinced that the first leg was done and dusted, and that was it. Paris had lost. Yes. Paris had won, and Barca had lost, and that's it. But when I started reading the news flashes, and then you get the app notifications, I was shocked because that's probably one of the best comebacks in Champions League history.
Hands down.
So
I had a Liverpool fan here recently,
right?
Maybe 2 weeks ago, and he was saying one of the best comebacks in league history is the Liverpool final. I don't know if you remember this.
In Champions League history, that was against Milan.
Yeah. Exactly.
But he's going to be biased, right? Because he's a Liverpool
fan.
I did watch that game, and that was a great comeback.
That was in the final, though.
Yeah, that is a great comeback. No denying. Denying. It's just that there were more goals in this, right? There was a more of a deficit to come
absolutely.
back. recover from. But
yeah, I thought this game was absolutely ridiculous. I actually watched most of the game.
Right.
I was actually just watching like 3 games simultaneously at the same time.
Wow.
Because I had that guy coming on the podcast next, so I was going to get up to speed.
Yeah.
But that was an incredible game to see. I couldn't believe it actually. Like
No,
when they scored the last goal, I thought it was over.
Yep.
I actually was ready to turn it off. I actually didn't pay attention to the game when PSG scored the one goal that they actually scored in the second game.
Mm-hmm. No, it was crazy, and even the last goal of the game, it just looked as if, I don't know why, it just seemed as if PSG had given up, but it wasn't that. It was just PSG were shocked themselves. They're probably like, no, it's impossible. It was that free kick, I think.
Yeah.
It was a free kick, and then it just bubbled in, or I can't remember it fully, but someone tapped it in or something.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's crazy.
It was absolutely ridiculous. Okay, so I want to get your thoughts on these matchups that are coming up in the UEFA Champions League. I'm just curious to know, because you've been watching soccer in general for a very long time.
Mm-hmm.
I'm curious, do you watch, actually, this isn't even my question, but do you watch MLS? Like TFC did phenomenal last year.
Yeah. No,
I'm just curious to know what a European soccer fan thinks of MLS.
I don't watch the MLS. I only watch Toronto FC.
Okay.
And only last season, but
okay.
I don't like the MLS. It's completely different. It's
what's different about it?
It's really slow, and it's just it's
the talent isn't there.
The talent isn't there. I mean, you don't. When I mean slow, I mean like not necessarily the speed of the game. It's just the players themselves that just seem so slow that it's not pass and move how it is in the Premier League. I feel like the players here have so much time, or they feel like they have so much time, and it's just, I guess, the technique, the quality, everything is just at a lower,
but it's a more infant sport here, right? Like it's not like to be quite honest, no one even speaks about soccer when you're talking about major league sports.
Yeah, no one.
MLS isn't in the category of MLB, NBA, NFL, NHL, even. MLS is probably at the bottom of the food chain for all those things.
Easily.
Right?
It's over the past 5 or 6 years, it's slowly started to pick up.
Yeah,
obviously because you get the
European players coming over.
Yep, but you've also got to realize it's only the old retired. Yeah.
But they come here players. And they do have a pretty big impact.
Oh no,
the game,
they do. But I feel like the thing that MLS needs to do is they need to somehow suck in the younger youth players from Europe, from South America. From South America, they do get a handful, but you don't see someone leaving the Tottenham Youth Academy to
go play for the LA Galaxy.
Exactly.
Right.
That's the thing. I don't know if it's risks they're scared to take, both on both sides, the players as well as the teams. Mm-hmm. But otherwise, you're just going to see that trend. You're going to have, let's say, Cristiano Ronaldo, for example, maybe 5 years down the road, he might end up in the MLS. Well, he
said that. He's flirted with that idea, but in the past, he's like, I would love to come out and play for LA Galaxy when he's older. Yeah,
no, it's nice. It's nice to see. I mean, it's good. It's all. I'm all for it, but I mean, all you're really gonna get is, I guess you will get the brand awareness, but it's all just money, right?
I don't know if this might be a shot in the dark, and it's totally okay if you don't know, but I'm just going to ask you. I was listening to a podcast by Bill Simmons recently.
Right.
Okay. And Bill Simmons is this big basketball figure.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, cool. And he brought up the fact that this 18-year-old American soccer player, I don't know if you've heard of him, Christian Pulisic at all.
Does he play in the German league?
He does.
Yeah.
He's phenomenal.
Yeah, he's good. Very good.
He's probably the best player that America has produced.
Yeah. At the rate he's going at, yes, definitely. He's I don't know if he's for Bayern or Dortmund.
Yeah.
One of those two teams he plays for.
Dortmund,
right?
Dortmund.
Yeah. I've seen him play. He's really good. He's good, and you know what? The Dortmund manager actually trusts him a lot. He's played in a few games now. He scored a few goals as well. So he has a very, very bright future.
Yeah. At 18, I mean.
Oh yeah.
It's impressive.
No, he's gonna be a big name for sure.
Okay. Since we're speaking about Dortmund, tell me about their matchup. Actually, let's start with Barcelona versus Juventus. I'd rather get your take on the big games. That's a huge matchup.
Yes,
you have basically the crown jewel of the Italian league versus the crown jewel, one of the two crown jewels of the Spanish league, La Liga.
Yeah. I would personally, I'd just say Barcelona.
Okay.
They're on a high right now. Not so much in the league, but just coming from that game against PSG, it definitely has a positive impact. It's not going to be an easy game, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Juve are a solid team, with or without Pogba, they're still solid.
Yeah.
Their midfield is just stacked.
Yeah.
One of my favorite players actually is Pjanic.
Okay.
Bosnian, I think he's a Bosnian player. Really good playmaker.
Right.
So I think I'll put my money on Barcelona though. Although it'll be tough. I mean, it's cliche, but anything can happen in football. But I'd say ultimately over the two legs, I think Barcelona will prevail.
Okay, cool. So then let's look at something a little bit closer to home. Leicester City taking on Atletico.
Yeah. I want to see Leicester win.
Why is that?
Just it's
English
nice.
Premier? Do you guys align? Like, do you guys align for like? Okay,
I do.
So my team's not here, but I would like to see an English team win.
I used to, not so much now, because there's something that you guys have to know, is that there's an implication as a fan of a team that's in the top 6 all the time.
Yeah.
If a team, let's say from the Premier League, wins the Champions League,
yeah,
they're automatically in the Champions League next season. Which means one of the places that could have been given to Tottenham or Liverpool, or let's say Man City even, or Everton, or these teams trying to chase, they lose it. So a classic example is when Tottenham had to rely on the fact that, basically they needed Bayern to beat Chelsea in the UEFA Champions League final a few years ago. That's the, and I actually watched that game live, and I think I was at like a Jack Astor's or something, and I was convinced that okay, we're in the Champions League, we finished 4th, so we're fine. Chelsea, Bayern's gonna slap them. It's game over.
Yeah.
But obviously Didier Drogba, legend. He did his magic, and that header, and then obviously the winning penalty, and then basically, long story short, we didn't make the Champions League, and then Modric left the very next season.
Gotcha.
And then, yeah. So.
Okay.
But
sounds like a sour spot.
It is a sour moment in history for me. But I would want Leicester to win this matchup though.
Okay.
Because they're not in a Champions League spot whatsoever. But either way, they deserve it, because they deserve anything positive coming to them, because they're working hard, and right now they're not doing too well in the league. Yeah, they've won actually since they sacked their manager. Yeah. Ranieri, they've actually picked up, but it's just
what
fairy
I didn't
tale
realize,
type,
and this is exactly what the other guy said from Liverpool, the Liverpool fan that I had as a guest, Faison. They both, like you and him, are both basically implying that the manager has a huge impact.
Oh, definitely.
On every game, and I never put that together. Huge implications.
Massive. I mean,
like the same talent on the team could go one way with one manager, and then you just bring the right guy, and it'll click, and it'll go the other way.
Exactly. Look at Man United and Sir Alex Ferguson. He's long gone now, but United, I think this is the first season where they have managed to pick up as many wins, or as playing as well as they used to, basically. Since he left. Yeah. So it has a massive implication for us as well as for Tottenham. I mean, there hasn't been much change in regards to players since our last manager, who was Andreas Villas-Boas. He got sacked.
Right.
But look, we've still got the core is still the same, but look, we've picked up astronomically. So the manager has a massive impact right now. For Leicester, for example, they've got their caretaker manager. I think his name's Shakespeare or something like that. Very English, right?
Yeah, very English.
Very English. But he's doing well. I mean, like I don't know, whatever he's doing in the changing room, or what it is. I don't know what it is. There's certain crazy things. I mean,
that
like
click.
Certain managers will tell you can't eat this, you can't eat that.
Yeah.
And if you know, for example, England manager Capello one time banned all his players from having ketchup. Yeah. With their meals, because it's bad for you. So all these things, and obviously certain players got upset because they're like, how can I have my fish and chips? I need ketchup and stuff like that. But all these things, it's different.
So there's crazy stories. I think that applies to all sports. So the NCAA, which is right now going March Madness mode, the year that Duke won, this was about was it 2-3 years, something fairly recently. It's not too far off. I think it might have been 2011. But the year Duke won, so apparently this is what. Do you know who Coach Mike Krzyzewski is?
No.
Okay, so there's this coach. Duke is a highly coveted college program.
Yep.
Okay, they produce some of the best players in the world. Okay, he comes basically to each of his players, shuts the lights in the locker room. It's pitch black. Takes a candle, approaches each of his players, looks them in the eye, and tells them, "I want you to look me in the eye and tell me you're gonna win the state champion or the national championship." to every single one, and apparently that clicked. That's what I'm saying. How I think that's totally creepy. I heard this story about 3 weeks ago from the other co-host on the podcast.
Right.
And he was telling me he lives in Florida, and he's like, this is the story that went public at that point in time. I was like, what?
Wow. Yeah, no, there's different means and methods.
Something
and
worse,
they work. Yeah,
like the ketchup thing.
Yeah.
That's absurd too.
Yeah, it's really strange.
Okay. Let me ask you this. This is the one that I'm very excited about. I mean, to be quite honest, like if there's 2 matchups in the UEFA Champions League that I'm going to watch in this quarterfinals, it's going to be the Juventus and Barcelona, just because of the clubs.
Yep.
And the other one is, and I'm also a mainstream fan as opposed to you, who's a diehard fan, and Bayern taking on Real Madrid.
Oh, that's going to be a great matchup. Because
that's huge.
We've seen them face each other at a similar stage in the past as well.
Yeah.
And no, they're 2 great teams.
Goliaths.
And exactly, and I think there will be plenty of goals in that game. You have over the course of the 2 legs, you have
right.
2 great forward lineups for both teams. I mean, you have Lewandowski, who's, I would say, my favorite striker in the world right now.
Wow.
Just because he does not look like someone who can really basically do anything that he does. It's weird. He's a very slim, skinny kind of guy, but this guy,
but he produces results.
He's so agile. He doesn't look it though.
Yeah.
He's nimble on his feet. He looks like your target man kind of striker who very limited in mobility and stuff like that. But as soon as he touches the ball, this guy can play.
Right.
And scissor kicks,
And then you look on the other side, you have who?
Benzema, Ronaldo, all these guys. I'm not too sure on the fitness of these guys right now. I haven't really paid too much attention, but I'm pretty sure Bale was injured. He might be back.
Yeah, I don't. He definitely didn't play the last. Game that against Napoli. I think they played.
I think so. Yeah. So
he definitely didn't play that.
So provided both teams are at full strength, it'll be a great game. I mean, that's definitely one game I'm gonna watch.
Right.
Definitely.
Who are you picking to win though? If you had to pick, because that's a tough choice. I agree, but I mean, at the end of the day, you got to pick one choice. Gun to your head, who are you picking, and why? Because the talent level between the 2 teams is hands down. You can't say one way or another. It's a complete. It's a landslide. Like when Real Madrid was playing Napoli, I thought it was like a pretty who's gonna win. You know what I mean? Like when a team plays another team, like even Atletico taking on Leicester City, it's kind of like, okay, you're rooting for Leicester City because they're kind of underdogs. Yeah. That's what I'm getting, because Atletico is a titan in the Italian league.
Yep.
Right.
No,
but if you're looking at this matchup, you don't really have that underdog scenario. I wouldn't say either of these teams is an underdog by any imagination. Like this is that. I wouldn't say it's even either. I have a personal person who I think has a little bit more talent, is clicking a little bit better, but whoever the other team is, you can't deny they could turn it on at any point in time.
Exactly.
As well.
No, it is a very difficult one to pick. I'd say, let's say over the 2 legs, I would put my money on
who. This seems really tough for you. You're really thinking about this here.
Yeah, no, because I would say Real Madrid.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
But don't doubt Bayern at all. It's difficult. I personally would say Real Madrid. I don't know why. I just feel like maybe they have players coming back into action that are really hungry. I really don't know. It's difficult. It's really difficult. They're because at least the last time I watched them play, they're kind of similar the way they play as well.
Yeah.
But I would say Real Madrid.
Yeah, so I'm leaning more towards. So I watched the Bayern Arsenal 2 legs.
Oh yeah.
I don't know if you got any joy out of that.
Oh, I did, of course. Of course. Yeah.
We actually have a couple of Arsenal listeners.
Yeah, I know.
To be quite honest,
I probably know a couple of them as well. So.
Yeah. So but they got demolished. I hadn't seen any game like that. The first leg I remember the first leg distinctively. I'm watching the game, full game. I watched start to finish. And in the second half, it was 1-1 at the half. In the second half, I get up to go do some errand for 5 minutes. Okay, in the house. I come back. Within 10 minutes of the goal, there were 3 goals in 10 minutes in the second half. It was completely ridiculous. And I'm here thinking, mainstream fan, you know what I mean? Like Arsenal, huge club, right? They've always produced in the past in the English Premier League, and all of a sudden there's this team, a bully almost, a German team that's basically spanking them.
Yep.
And the second game was the same thing.
Yeah, no, it's
I didn't even watch the second game, but the second game, I look at the
was-
score and I was like, it's the exact same score. It's 5-1.
Exactly. It was pretty fun to watch and to watch Arsenal
Oh,
suffer.
yeah.
But then it came to a point where I felt bad, and I was like, "You're giving English football a bad name," you know. So
Totally.
But-
There
but-
is other than Leicester City, there's no team, right? Left
no
English team. That's it.
Yeah, Man City got knocked out as well.
Yeah, Man City got knocked out as well.
So the team that Man City got knocked out by, I think the Monaco. Yeah, Monaco.
Yeah,
they
Monaco.
knocked Tottenham out. So
Yeah, but Monaco's taking on Dortmund.
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 Yeah. So it's they're a good team. They have some good young players coming up. So they're I'd say the dark horse, you could say, in this whole.
Really?
Yeah, definitely. They're number one in the French league right now.
Right.
But Anthony Martial, for example, he used to play for them, and Man United bought him last season or the season before
Okay,
that.
okay.
So we thought that most people would think, they lost their best player, this and that. So they're not going to do so well. And this is coming from a team that only has, let's say, 17,000 capacity in their stadium. Monaco is a small, obviously, you know where that is. It's a small place,
Yeah, absolutely.
It's a
Very small place.
Expensive place, but very small as well. 17,000. All that as well. I'd like to add makes a massive impact to the games, and the outcome of the game is whether you're home or away, or the climate and all this stuff. There's a lot of factors when it really comes down to it. And the only reason I'm bringing that up is because Tottenham is actually moving stadiums right now.
Gotcha.
We're refurbishing and redeveloping our stadium. We're not exactly moving. We're just building on top of the existing stadium.
Gotcha.
Shifting it a bit.
Upgrading it.
Yep. And our Champions League games were played. Our home games were played in at Wembley Stadium, which is 90,000, massive stadium in central London.
But that's not your stadium.
But that's not our stadium, and we played terrible in the Champions League. Terrible. I maybe one victory, if that. Barely made it through. We didn't even make it out the group stages. I don't think we did. Yeah, we didn't make it out the group stages. Yeah, but we're second in the league, and we have the best goal difference in the Premier League as of today.
Wow.
We've got the best defensive record in the league. We've lost the least amount of games. I think only 3 games. Maybe United has the same, but they've drawn plenty. So, yeah, it's it'll be interesting. So let's see, Monaco. So we said
how many games left in the league left?
So we played 29. So I think nine games left.
9 games left.
Yeah.
And how are you doing right now? You're second.
We are second.
How far behind Chelsea?
7 points. Chelsea actually lost today. 2-1.
Which is a good thing for you.
Yeah,
great thing.
Massive 3 points for us, because Chelsea lost 2-1 to Crystal Palace just now at the same time Spurs were playing. So
yeah,
good news for us. We're not really looking behind. So United, Arsenal, Man City, these guys are non-factor right now, because we're on a high. But having said that, last season we were second, and we actually let Arsenal slip into second, and we dropped down to third or fourth. I think we lost against a team 5-1 on the last day, who actually were already relegated.
Wow.
Yeah, 5-1.
So they're not in the league anymore?
Well, yeah, they already got the news that it's impossible for them to stay up. They're relegated, but we played them, and all we had to do was just get a draw, and we got battered. So there is some nerviness still. That's what I mean. Where we will not be able to compete with the Barças, the Real Madrids as of right now. I mean, it's a young team. We have the youngest squad average age, you could say.
Right.
In the Premier League. So for us, we're still learning. Like next season, though, mark my word, we'll be in the, I'd say, quarterfinals of the Champions League. I would say that.
Okay, that's good progress for you guys.
Yeah,
that's great progress. You're going to be facing Barcelona, Real Madrid, Bayern,
I would think so.
All these top squads.
I would think so. But I feel like in general, it's not the same for Premier League teams. They're not as good as they used to be in Europe. 10 years ago or so, Chelsea and Man United always. And even Arsenal made it to the Champions League final.
All the time. They
lost against
I was actually surprised
Barcelona.
To see that this year. I was surprised to see that Man City was really the big squad that's representing them.
Yeah. And even then,
that was the big squad.
Yeah, exactly. And they're not even playing that great this season. So it shows you the quality that's really coming out. So it's and then Leicester. The team.
What's the best league in Europe right now?
I have a massive bias towards Premier League. But
you just said, be honest. You just said the best soccer isn't coming out.
See, the thing is, if we're the Champions League, for example, is a great example to show you who I guess the best leagues are in and I would say
let's take a look at this.
we would say Chelsea. Italy and Spain. Those are the main ones.
1, 2.
But
Spain 1, 2. Germany has 2.
Yeah, they do. Okay, but the thing is with Germany, there's not. Okay, no. This is the first season I would say where Spain is overall I would say Spain, and even maybe Germany, because you're in the German league right now you have the top 5. There's 1 or 2 teams which you would never really see in the top 5.
Yeah.
And that is something that was fairly common in English football, where you'd have, for example, like Man United losing to, I don't know, Burnley or something like that.
Right.
That didn't really happen in the Spanish league, Italian league as often. People would say, "Oh, there's only two teams in Spain."
Yeah, totally.
You know, there's only 2 teams in Italy, but that's not really the case anymore. You have Atletico,
right?
You know, who are doing really well,
right,
in the league, and you know, Sevilla, who won the
Sevilla.
They won the UEFA Cup or Europa Cup basically.
Yeah, I think
last season.
They just got knocked out.
And they got
round.
knocked out. Yeah, they got knocked out. So, and by Leicester, right? So, I can't say hands down. Oh yeah, the Premier League is the best now. In my mind and heart, that is the case. But if as a neutral, there's not enough evidence to say that is the case.
Right.
Especially if the best of the best, the cream of the crop, play in the Champions League, there should be more English teams then.
Gotcha.
And that's not. But at the same time, I feel like maybe it's because the Premier League is so competitive. It's hard to balance between the two.
Sure.
Because if you have Real Madrid who are playing like I don't know, Almeria or like Bilbao and all these decent, average, teams.
Totally.
Like obviously comes to Champions League, they have better time to prepare. Or
totally, you're 100% right.
All of these factors, but so I'd say Spanish or German.
Okay, fair enough. So it seems okay. So you got 9 games left in the season.
Mm-hmm.
That's gonna go on for 9 weeks.
8 or 9 weeks.
8 or 9 weeks. What do you do to celebrate if Tottenham wins?
If Tottenham wins the Premier League?
If Tottenham wins the Premier League, basically makes the difference up with Chelsea right now, right? Over the next 8-9 weeks. If they win.
No joke. If we are very close to
winning, you're going to fly back?
I'm going to fly back for the final
Shut
game.
up.
No lie. Yeah, why? I'm working. Why not? Who cares? It's worth it, man. Come on. It's like something you won't see. You won't see that often. It's Look, I look at it this way. Like this.
That's amazing.
I mean, I don't think I would really. How many times will this happen in my lifetime? Maybe 3-4 times. And that's me stretching it.
Have a little bit more faith in your team.
No, I do. But like I've been watching them for 20 years. We've not won the league. We've won maybe three cups, which are joked to be the milk cup or the egg cup in England. Every so often, the league cup is what it is. But
sure,
we've got to do more, and to be I guess considered serious contenders and whatnot. But I would definitely fly back. Definitely, I'd go. I mean,
but you're in striking range, dude.
Yeah, I mean, it's 7 points. It's not. I mean, 7 points. It's not.
Yeah, you just need like Chelsea to. It's 3 points for a win, right?
Yeah, 3 points for a win, but
so you need them to lose 2 games.
Yeah, and
you need to win all your games.
Yep. Trust me, you'll see.
Come on, dude. I think Michael Jordan would take those odds any day.
I know, but
come on, buddy.
I know my team.
Say it with your.
Not yet. I can't.
Not yet. Still young.
Exactly. Don't want to get too excited, and I was surprised.
But you think they're gonna get there? Like in, let's say, 2-3 years.
Oh yeah, definitely. We should have won it last year. We let Leicester just. I don't know what we did, but Leicester were on another level. I mean, they were beating Chelsea, they were beating United. They were beating
that was
all these
unreal.
Teams, but
I think I can't even remember the odds. But the odds of them winning at the start of the league was like lower than Lightning hitting twice, lower than
all those things.
All those things. They showed that on Sportsnet, and I was just like, holy crap! And they won despite those odds.
No, it's crazy. I mean. I'm definitely definitely. I'll fly back if it's like the final game is the decider. Hell yeah, I'm definitely flying back.
Oh man,
I don't care.
That's amazing, dude. No, that's amazing. So, Nabil, this has been. I don't know. I'm a big fan for soccer, but just from like an outside. But actually hearing it from you, someone who's super passionate about their team, this has been quite enlightening for me. I feel like using more enlightening. You know what I mean? When I'm talking to you, it's always been the case. It's always been the case.
I like my team a lot, where look at it, wherever it is, for me it's Tottenham is football, but then like over here Raptors, I love them a lot too. Last year I went to like 3 or 4 playoff games. I watched them. I was happy. I was actually so happy to watch us beat the Cavaliers.
Yeah, the two
at
wins.
home as well.
The two
and
wins.
And at home, the one at home was great. It was great to watch. As a sports fan, whatever your primary sport is, you live for these moments.
Yeah.
For me, that was perhaps the best sporting event I've been to, that game.
In Toronto?
No.
Oh, ever?
Ever. Even
Wow.
better than any football game I've been
dude.
to. Yeah. Because
that's saying a lot.
Oh, it is, yeah. No. And there was also a game against the Indiana Pacers.
Yeah.
And then against Miami Heat.
Game 7.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I went to all those games, and those were amazing to watch. I mean, as I'm a well-rounded sports fan in that sense.
Yeah.
Like, I appreciate good
sport,
good sport, good games.
Good
competition too, and that's what it really comes down to. And that's why, and that's how I guess you develop liking for other sports.
Okay, so before we head out, give me your prediction on the NBA playoffs, which are about to start in April 15th. They start, so 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Give me your prediction. How far the Raptors go, and who wins the NBA championship?
Well, the NBA
Unbiased.
I'm biased. No. Yeah. So I think Golden State will win.
Okay.
That's an obvious of the two teams. All three teams.
Yeah, 3 teams.
Raptors won't go as far as they did last year.
Where do you think they... Okay, so first round, we're sitting at the 4th seed. Assuming the season ends right now, we face Atlanta in the first round. What happens there?
We'll beat Atlanta.
Okay, next round, we move to the next round. We face the number 1 seed. If we stop now, it's Boston. What happens then?
See... I would be disappointed if we lose against them.
I'd
be very disappointed.
I agree with you.
Because we were in a position last season where we elevated in regards to gaining respect from other teams, from fans.
Totally.
We kind of, I thought we cemented ourselves as a top
contender in the East.
Exactly.
Yep.
But watching this season, not the players, but the team as a whole.
Yeah.
Or what, just the way the outcome of the games have ended and this and that. It's a step back in my eyes.
Yeah.
But then when I watch DeRozan play, for example,
he's killing it. He's absolutely ridiculous this year.
I would be very upset if we lost against Boston.
But to be quite honest, we haven't had... So this is my take on the second half of the season so far. Kyle Lowry has been out.
Yeah.
Serge Ibaka was picked up, but he's never played with Kyle Lowry. DeMar DeRozan still doing what he was doing at the start of the season. He's still doing now.
Yeah.
Right? PJ Tucker is a new piece. That's a defensive piece that's going to be killer for us to guard any small forward, which is usually one of the best players. Yeah, he's a hard worker. Extremely hard worker.
I think we can beat Boston though.
I'd be very upset. Beat Boston though.
I'd be very upset.
Like if it was the Cavaliers in the second round, I don't think there's any shame to losing to the Cavaliers and still being considered a contender. Yeah. But if we lose to the Boston Celtics, it's like, okay, wait. So you have a guard that's doing great, 5'11", 5'10", Isaiah Thomas, 30 points a game.
Yeah.
But when the playoffs start, who is he going to guard on your team? Do you think he can guard Kyle Lowry? No, Kyle Lowry can shoot over him comfortably, right? Bigger body, everything.
Exactly.
Do that better than him. Can he guard, another great point guard right now in the East, John Wall? Can he guard him? Nope, probably not. So I think Boston has this thing where right now they're relying so heavily on Isaiah Thomas. But when the playoffs start, that's going to stop.
And we've got to realize that Isaiah Thomas has not really been in that position before, right?
Totally.
How many times has he played in the playoffs? I haven't watched too many games, but when he was at Sacramento, I don't even think they made it, right?
They
never, right?
No. He hasn't played in the playoffs.
So it's a new lands for that guy, but
I mean they played not last year, the year before, but I don't know if he was on there. Boston played the Cavaliers 2 years ago, not last year, but the year before, as the 8th seed in the first round. But I don't know if Isaiah Thomas... I don't think he was there at that point in time.
But no, I mean, and that's where for us as Toronto Raptors fans, we have 2 all-star players, right? Let's say you could consider Ibaka as well. Let's say, but let's say Lowry and DeRozan. Let's say 3-4 years ago, I always used to be like, we have 2 all-star players, but they're second-tier all-star players in my eyes, right?
I wouldn't say that now.
Exactly, not now, and that was just going by trends, right? And just by
they have LeBron, they have
like in my eyes, personally, I thought having Paul George is better than having any of the 2 players we have, right? But I've seen DeRozan, especially DeRozan, develop and mature as a player. And
he's gotten better every single year.
Exactly.
Man.
And to me, and to me, I'd let him take those, mid-range
100%.
jumpers or anything, anytime.
He's
I don't
so
care.
good.
Before I'd be like, why is he doing that? You have Lowry on your team. Send it to him.
Yeah.
Now it's like, no, we have to let him be that man, be the main guy on the team, and let him embrace that, because the guy can go insane sometimes, right?
I couldn't agree with you more, man.
So let's hope. If we lose to Cavaliers, if we get to that stage when it does come, there's no embarrassment in that at all. I mean, you have the best player
of the generation.
You have the best dribbler. In the NBA.
Hands down, best handles.
And then you have a player who's like lives for double doubles, all the time.
Totally.
And he can shoot threes too, Kevin Love.
And apart from that, I mean, the depth that they've added this year, to be quite honest, they're not doing well right now. There's all this news about them not doing well, but at the end of the day, their bench is stacked.
Exactly.
They've got so much depth.
And them doing not well everyone knows, is purely just morale, right? Whatever
it
the
might be
reason
boredom,
might be,
to be quite honest.
Yeah,
man.
whatever the reason might be, because you never know. They might just turn the switch on, and
just like that.
That's it. It's playoffs. Okay, let's go to work,
Totally.
right? So let's see. I'm hopeful.
Yeah, hopeful. So you got two horses in the race now. You got the Toronto Raptors on one side, both doing well. Both horses are doing it, and Tottenham pretty well.
Oh yeah.
So it's a win-win for you as a sports fan right now.
Oh, definitely. I'm looking forward to it a lot, and I'm actually traveling in the summer. I'm going to Spain, so.
Oh, nice.
So it'll be nice to.
Are you gonna try to catch a game there?
Yeah. That's what I was just gonna try and watch a Barca or a Madrid game.
Nice.
Maybe Seville. So it'll be nice. Then maybe I can sway away from my bias of the EPL being the best.
Gotcha.
But to anyone, to all listening right now, whoever's new to the sport, whoever's new to football, give Tottenham a go. Give him a try, and try watching them play. Because I tell you now,
I'll give it a go.
They play attractive football.
At least you'll get one person to watch a Tottenham game.
They play attractive football
every Saturday.
Saturday, Sunday, it varies. Now we have Friday games.
So I want you to fire me a
games,
text about the next game you want me to watch for Tottenham, and I'll tune in for the next game.
Oh, definitely. No, definitely.
Cool, dude. All right, well,
thanks
so much.
Having me.
Oh, absolutely, man. Thank you so much for coming on. This is easily one of the most fun and like a podcast that I definitely learned a lot about.
Yep.
So I appreciate that from you. And clearly you are one of the most diehard fans I've met for any one sport. A dude that's willing to go travel back to Tottenham to celebrate a potential win. Like when they're getting close, I'm gonna book my ticket.
No, I do that.
That's
I mean,
pretty crazy.
Well, because I was born there too, right? So got
true.
family, this and that. There's
That's
a lot
true.
of other factors, but
That's true.
No,
Have you seen Green Street Hooligans?
Oh yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Is it like that?
I'm not like
Is it like
that. No,
Oh, okay.
it is
No, but
like
it
that.
is like that. Like
it is like that.
they were all West Ham fans in the movie.
Yeah, definitely, it's like that. I mean, I don't think I would go to those levels.
No, of course.
But
there's people there. Like that.
yeah. There's people.
That's
I mean, look, there's people who have their team tatted on their heart.
Oh, 100%. Yeah.
Let's see.
Let's see, man. All right. Well, thanks so much, Nabil. Really appreciate you coming down, man. Really, really appreciate it. So, guys, if you're listening, if you want to hear more, we'll have Nabil on for next time after Tottenham, potentially at the end of the season. We'll see how Tottenham does. And going forward, we might even have him for Toronto Raptors, because clearly this guy knows his basketball too.
Yeah, been picking up the knowledge,
Been picking it up. That's what we like to hear, man.
Reading some of the history as well,
Yeah,
so,
yeah.
It's good.
Cool, dude. So thanks guys for listening. Next week, or the next episode we're gonna have, is gonna be focused more so on NBA basketball. Tune in next time. See you guys.